next month. Mr. Biden, of course, campaigned on canceling student debt, and critics say his expected announcement tomorrow falls short of what he promised then.
I'm going to make sure that everybody in this generation gets $10,000 knocked off of their student debt as we try to get
everybody, he said, just making those making a less than $125,000. Timing is everything. Midterm elections are 11 weeks away, and the president's facing a ton of pressure to deliver something on this issue.
Huge changes have been made to Democrats' Inflation Reduction Act. The IRS has released a shocking announcement on future stimulus checks. Millions of seniors and families may be left out on receiving additional financial aid, so make sure to watch until the end to learn how to receive your stimulus check and to see if you're eligible. There is some breaking news on another state stimulus program. About 23 million California taxpayers and their dependents will get inflation relief. Tax rebate payments after lawmakers reached an agreement on the framework of a 2022 and 2023 budget. And potentially several million other residents won't receive a check in their bank accounts because they did not file tax returns. Tony Atkins said after studying the various approaches to providing tax refunds, every scenario would have left out deserving Californians. But the approach ultimately approved in the final budget provides the most relief to the most people. The budget agreement applies to 17 million tax returns affecting about 23 Californians at all. But under California Governor Gavin Newsom's original proposal of using DMV records to target inflation for California drivers, about 28 million people would have been helped. Now, it should be noted that the budget does include more funding for other programs that will definitely help people, including increased assistance for vulnerable Californians who are SSI recipients or CalWORK grant recipients. There's currently also more money in the budget for rent assistance, utility assistance, and health subsidies, if those end up being renewed by the federal government. California's budget deal would increase grants by about $39 a month for individuals and $100 a month for couples. CalWORKs is a program that provides cash and services to eligible families with a child or children in the home. Compared with the previously announced increases, family of 3 could receive as much as $200 more a month. The increases affect about 370,000 households. And now California's Democrats' new climate, healthcare, and tax package includes nearly $80 billion for the new funding of the IRS, which is supposed to help the underfunded agency staff back up and boost enforcement measures to collect unpaid taxes from wealthy Americans. The funding has become a political flashpoint in recent days among conservatives and some business groups who have claimed the IRS will use the money to hire 87,000 new agents who would target the average taxpayer. Senator Mike Crapo, the top Republican on the Senate Finance Committee, said the new funding would be used to squeeze more revenue out of Americans and make less than $400,000 because they're easy targets.
Massachusetts is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield 1 minute to the gentleman from Georgia, the distinguished chairman of the Committee on Agriculture, Mr. Scott.
The gentleman is recognized.
Thank you very much, Chairman McGovern. This is an important bill, and yes, it will bring down inflation. Ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing here with basic economics. And unless we have multiple forces working simultaneously, we will not be able to bring down the cost of particularly food. I want to raise this point because, as Chair Lady Waters pointed out, it does help in terms of prescription drugs. It brings down the cost of health care, but those reflect some of our basic needs. It helps our veterans with their health care. Just as I stepped up and helped to deal with Step Up, we are having a problem with the front end of our food supply chain. We have 17,000 of our ranchers and small farmers going out of business every year. And may I just have 20 seconds, 10 maybe? I
yield the gentleman 15 seconds.
Thank you. Let me just say that this is very important, and it sets the stage for this bill, working with our lower food and fuel costs to continue the process. And finally, we will have a bill in September that addresses the front line of our supply chain that will also bring down.
So President Biden has taken executive action and inflation is finally beginning to decrease. Many more Americans can expect to receive a $600 stimulus checks in just a few weeks, everybody. And so now lawmakers have allocated billions of dollars towards a new relief program. And here is the update. According to a top Biden administration energy advisor, gas prices in the US could soon drop to an average of $4 a gallon. That forecast came as prices at the pump, which have hit a record of $5.02 a gallon on June 14th, have steadily dropped over the past month. Data from the AAA shows that the average national price now stands at $4.52 a gallon, 43% higher than the typical price paid by drivers a year earlier. And relief for motorists could help alleviate the financial pain being felt by households across the US amid the sharpest inflation in more than 4 decades. Even though fuel prices are coming down, drivers in states like California and Idaho continue to pay an average of more than $5 a gallon. The special presidential coordinator for international energy affairs told CBS News that he expects gas prices to come down more than $4. He then added that we already have many gas stations across the country that are below $4, and this is the fastest decline rate that we've seen against a major increase of oil prices. According to new data, in this weekend, the most common gas price in the US was $3.99 a gallon. Gas experts have told CBS News that we've seen the national average drop for 34 days straight, with over 25 stations now back at under $4 a gallon or less, and thousands of more stations will join this week. The U.S. Energy Information Administration has stated that there are several factors pushing down gas prices after they peaked in June. Now, first, Americans are driving less due to the hit to their budgets, and consumers purchased less gasoline in the second quarter of 2022 and early July compared with the same period as a year earlier. Second, crude oil prices are sensitive to economic concerns, and rising fears of a global recession have dented oil prices as a result. Experts have pointed to the Biden administration's decision to tap the nation's strategic petroleum reserve earlier this year in an effort to lower prices. It is good to see that gas prices are finally being lowered down, and I know many Americans can find this difficult, but the good thing is that low-income households in Oregon will soon be getting a $600 payment. If they meet the eligibility requirements, that is. You'll get the one-time payment if you received the Oregon Earned Income Tax Credit on a 2020 tax filing and lived in Oregon for the last 6 months of 2020. According to the Oregon Department of Revenue, the aim is to help support low-income people in Oregon, as well as those who will still face financial hardships due to the tough times. All direct deposits will be made and checks mailed to eligible residents. The Oregon Department of Revenue estimates that about 236,000 households will be eligible for payments, and the Earned Income Tax Credit was a tax benefit designed to help low to moderate income workers and families. If you filed your 2020 tax return budget by December 31st, 2021, and received the Earned Income Tax Credit, you don't need to do anything to receive the $600 stimulus payment. You'll get it by direct deposit or check. Yes, it is finally happening. Congress is passing a new stimulus bill very soon. Joe Manchin is now meeting with Republican lawmakers to gain their support on President Biden's spending bill. Now, many people will be receiving